Shawn Mendes actually tweeted me and he said, love the covers, dude, keep it up. And that was just a big, seal that I felt like I was doing the right thing.
And I'll be good to you. Oh yeah, I'll be good to you, babe. I'll be good to you.
This is my first time playing Life is Beautiful and my first time in Vegas. I just flew in last night, so it's been cool seeing the city. I went to Europe last year to do a writing trip, and I went to Stockholm for about a week and a half, and I wrote with these 3 writers. And we sat down, we were coming up with an idea, but it wasn't really working out so well, and then we decided to move on to this other idea, and one of the guys played the chords for In My Head. And immediately I fell in love with it and then decided to write some melodies and things over it. And I remember when we got to the chorus, the words just kind of fell out of my mouth, if we fall apart. And then that kind of, built the rest of the song around that and created a story about, this toxic relationship that's coming to an end, but just knowing that it'll be fine because you're going to have the memories of it in your head forever. I actually wasn't classically trained. I used to do musicals in school when I was younger. So we'd do the big, acting and production and the big songs and stuff like that. But then I remember when my voice started changing, I kind of changed over to doing like Michael Bublé covers and Josh Groban covers. So I wasn't classically trained or jazz trained or anything, but I took from those styles and have created, I guess, who I am today. Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know if I've even thought about this before. Wow. I mean, I feel like I'm like in love with Louis Capaldi's songs and his singing. So I feel like if he were to cover one of my songs with his voice, I'd be blown away by it. I feel like, yeah. My biggest influences for my music have been big singers. So early influences were like a lot of old gospel singers, and then Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson was a big one. Yeah, Adele, Sam Smith. Yeah, just a bunch of those big singers for sure. I did, yeah. My grandma, she still is, and she's a really good gospel pianist. She was always playing that in the house with that soulful, grit to it. So I'd be singing along to all these songs and hearing these songs all day. So yeah, that's a big part of who I am. I feel like I remember it was probably at my grandparents' house. I'd sit down at the piano and I remember trying to plink out Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on the keys, and I figured out how to play it. And then, so that's like my first, I feel like, musical memory. But my first musical memory when I actually was going to take it seriously was when I sang this cover of Who's Loving You by the Jackson 5. And kind of just belted it out one day because I saw this other kid do it on competition, and my mom and my grandma were like, "You can sing, like you should go with this." So from then on, I guess I've just been doing it. Absolutely, yeah. It's funny actually because both my parents were professional hockey players, very Canadian, I guess. But they were always super supportive of that kind of unconventional, lifestyle and career choice. So yeah, of course they were always supportive of it. And my mom, she kind of sang when she was younger too, so she got it and was always just very, she was very passionate about helping me to achieve my dream. So yeah. There have been a lot of kind of moments along the way that were big wow moments, but actually back in 2016, I remember I was just doing all of these covers, and then Shawn Mendes actually tweeted me and he said, love the covers, dude, keep it up. And that was just a big, seal that I felt like I was doing the right thing. I was in the right career path. So that was a big encouragement. I felt like, okay, this is becoming real now that people are actually noticing this. It was amazing. And I've told this story, but I've been such a huge fan of her from the time that her first album came out. I remember listening to Here and just connecting with those lyrics so much, and listening to her album in the hallways of my high school all the time. And I remember just having this longing and this desire, like I wanted to open for her. I wanted to meet her and get to know her and how she writes her songs. And one year in Toronto, I got my mom to take me down to the MMVAs, which is the big music award show there. And we couldn't get in because we were late, and there were this crowds and everything, and we found this guy across the street and kind of waved at him, and we were like, hey, can we like go up on your roof to watch the show from up there? And so he's like, sure. And we climbed up this 4-story ladder, like open, could have fallen off, and died probably. But we got up to the top, and then I just was able to catch her accepting her award, and she was saying, thank you to these people and these people, and then she said thank you to Christmas Management, and I was like, who is that? I want to get with them. And then a week later they reached out to me, and I started working with them, and then I found out just a few months ago before the tour that I was opening for her, and it was this big, huge, full circle, just amazing thing. So it was crazy opening for her. I think, yeah, of course, selling out stadiums and getting streams and stuff, that's a big part of success. But I think what's most important to me is creating music and songs and performances that really emotionally impact people. So whatever the message of the song is, whether it's a sad song or a happy song or an angry song, I just want people to be able to relate to it. And if I can get people to hear it and feel something and come up later and say, this song affected me this way, then I feel like I've been successful. I've started a lot of songs on guitar, and actually the first song I ever wrote, which I probably will never ever let see the light of day, I wrote on guitar. So guitar has definitely been a big part of the songwriting journey, yeah. So it's been over 3 years that I've just been working on writing and experimenting with different styles and things like that. And yeah, I've been kind of all around the world now writing it, the UK, Sweden, LA, Toronto. So it's been a process, but I'm excited about where the sound is now, and I feel like I'm really happy with it. It's very like vocally led, and it's just I'm happy with where it is. So we're almost finished or done. So yeah. When I'm on the road, I do miss home a lot. It's funny because I'm from such a small town, and I still live there, and I'm like, I want to see the world and be on the road, but then I do miss my family when I'm away from them. So it's probably my family, that core, that I do miss the most. And when I get to go home and see my younger sisters and stuff and how they can grow up, that's probably what I miss the most. I probably should say yes, but in my experience, not all the time, but mostly yes. Yeah. So much stuff is happening, and things feel like they're just picking up. And I'm going on the U.S. tour with Alessia Cara, and then I have a Christmas song coming out this year, a holiday song. So I'm excited about just everything coming. And then 2020, the beginning, it's new single, album, all that stuff. Oh man, that's a good. I feel like my first thing would be I need to move somewhere that I actually enjoy. I'd move to like a place, probably like a quiet place, and just somewhere where I have, that ability to create like a studio and music, and yeah, probably support my family too, for sure.